Yes, James Crochet led the team.
He wouldn't run the ball the way he ran like tonight. Like a couple times where he took off.
That if we're drafting all these players in the first round, we're spending money on these players. That
and there is not much that teams are going to do when you're winning.
Even if you ain't feeling what I got to say, I can write it, ball it up, and sew it away.
Congrats to Ferris for Giants winning. I know you're happy.
I got 86 to drink, drop another
Once we get to the playoffs,
even if you ain't feeling what I got to say, I can write it, ball it up, and sew it away. They ain't here for chord and let the beat play. I got 86 to drink, drop another today. I'm more Langston than
I want him to start doing that.
Would have sworn, Lord, I got the end. Him and Wayne with a Marvin getting mine. That should be a big deal. Where do I sign? Living in illusions of freedom. Warning signs like.
Hello. Welcome back to another edition of Ravens Online on Gatekeeper. Thank you all for joining me here. For all of you that stuck around during our live watch party, I appreciate you for doing so. I appreciate you for coming back. Now listen, we had a tough loss. You know, it's something that I think most of us expected. It's not really surprising. It's not shocking. I know I'm not mad. I'm not upset. But this is a place of healing. This is a safe space. It's a place where you can be you. Let your true feelings out, not worry about people judging you. Unless your name's Noah Driscoll. Just kidding, Noah. Speak your mind. Let us know how you feel. But I am not alone. I am not alone. And thank you to all that are new here for joining this live stream. And make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. But, you know, as always, it's rivalry week. And I have my man here. If you were on the other stream with us, you already know. I got my man, Suge Knight. Welcome back. I know he's a happy camper. He's probably going to be a little bit more talkative than he was in the previous stream, you know, because he's been quiet.
You had me stressing. That's why. But I'm not going to be as talkative as talking crap or anything because, you know, we didn't beat a Lamar Jackson team. But some of these Ravens fans, some of the things they're saying right now, I just shake my head at. You know, it's crazy. You guys were playing. The defense played okay, and the offense had its struggles. But you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm glad to see my team pull out a victory. We're back to 8-8, and if we finish 9-8. You know, if we can get a win next week, I'm not really worried about the playoffs.
Right,
it's not a thing. But you know, I'd rather finish above 500 and just you know, work from there. So. You know, we'll break the game down more, but I'm not gonna bust you too bad because I know next week you gotta wear a Steelers shirt, and I'm gonna be happy for that. So
let's see, I gotta limit my streams. I gotta limit my streams. Listen. We got some new people in here. Jet Jackson has subscribed to the channel. Thank you for joining the Rogue family. Appreciate you for that. But listen. I know y'all thought that this was it. You thought we were going to transfer or transition from one stream to the next stream, but we have a real surprise for y'all right now. You know, I know y'all thought it was a game. I know y'all thought it was a joke. You know, you heard the banter going back and forth, but we have another special guest on here. We got another guest to the stream. Welcome to the channel for the first time. Our number one patron, Yolanda B. How you doing, Yolanda?
Oh, she might be muted.
No, she's muted herself if she is. Hello?
Hi there. I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're well, thank you. Appreciate you for joining the stream. Is there anything that you would like to say to the people before we get started?
Suge, I thought we were friends. I really did. And I just want you to know that you have been officially removed from the Christmas list.
Oh, dang it.
Hendo, you were just not on it to begin with.
Okay, I was okay. Well, then I'll
but congrats to you, Suge. The best team won tonight, so congrats to you.
Thank you. I will not say the best team won because you were missing one of your best players, and we're not talking about Owe, but you know, it had me stressed. Hendo had me stressed the whole game. Like he got under my skin real quick. I couldn't even enjoy the game because Hendo was just messing with me the whole time. So
Right, but that's what he does. So I think we just kind of accept it and do the best we can.
Whoa.
But,
This is not going to be attack on Hendo Hour. This is not what we're here for.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with Suge. I mean, he made a valid point, and touche. I was in agreement with him. So I mean,
Okay, well, let's see who we have up in the stream. Bull 17, thank you for stopping by. Happy New Year to you as well. Hope all is well with you and your family. We got Noah Driscoll in the house. I was picking with Noah earlier, but thank you for stopping by. And of course, I make the intros for everybody. Of course, they would be fire. No, I'm just kidding. What's going on, Brian? Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you, bruh. We got D Weezy back in the house. Mr. J the Sixth, thank you for tuning in. Ravens for life. My man LL. Appreciate you being here. All right. Lunch break hot take is back. Yes. We're trying to get these segments started early. We got to prep her for what's to come in the future. Jake P, I appreciate you for dropping by, my man. Brian, happy New Year's to you. Listen, fire Greg Roman. No, you do need to say more. Fire John Harbaugh. You take him, you cut the head of the snake off, the body goes with it. Mr. Galloway, my brother, my man. Listen, if you don't know, now you know. Check my man out and myself every Friday at noon on Electric Relaxation with Mr. Galloway. Dope content if you like hip-hop, especially old school hip-hop. That's what we talk about. New episodes every Friday. Make sure you go and subscribe. Help my man hit that 100 subscriber mark. Let him get that custom URL if they still do that type thing. But go subscribe. Attitude Pop. Appreciate you for stopping by. I remember when you first came through LBHT's streams, we were like, who is this kid? Now you've grown up, got a job. Appreciate you for being here. But let us now jump into this Ravens content and speak about what's going on. So as we all just sat here and watched the sad showing, the Baltimore Ravens were defeated by the Pittsburgh Steelers 16-13 in a game that pretty much, as Suge and I spoke, it played out the way I kind of said it would. And speaking with and about the old Pittsburgh quarterbacks, especially Ben Roethlisberger. I believe that's how he got started. I know Tommy Maddox got hurt and Big Ben came in as a rookie, and that's how he kind of made his mark. We had much better defenses, but they always found a way to win in the end. Suge, if you could give me your thoughts on this game.
Well, we talked about it on Thursday when we did that stream, and I said the key, which was the key to you guys winning last time, which was I thought the key to us winning this time was turnovers. Mm-hmm. Kenny had a couple of close calls. There was that tip pass that went through like 3 of your guys that could have been an interception, but nobody capitalized that, and that was the main thing. I mean, there was just no turnovers. Kenny, he may have not made the greatest plays, maybe missed some throws, things like that, but he didn't turn the ball over. And then when it came to a big play, JPP couldn't get him down, and he makes really. I mean, you got to admit that throw was really good. He led his running back, and went right into his hands, and Najee made a great catch, and that was just a great play. I mean, you got to give it to him. JPP put pressure, he rolled out, made the pass, led him. Najee caught the ball, and that was just a great play. And I said, we were talking about it while streaming. They were at the 20, and I said, if he wants to be a Steeler, not a legend, but that guy that fans are gonna love, he needs to drive them down the field, and he did. Made some great plays. You said it. He made the play to Freiermuth down the middle, and then he made a play right after that to Sims down the middle. Right. Great throws, and the one to Freiermuth, I think if you go back and watch the stream, you said it. You go, he goes, "Damn, I thought that was going to be intercepted," and it was really close. And so he made some great throws. He didn't make any turnovers like Mitch did.
Right.
And you even said during the stream he wasn't making the throws that Mitch made. Those real deep passes. He made a couple. Throws.
when it counted.
Yeah, when it counted, but it wasn't, those gunslinger throws, and that's okay for him right now. He needs to build some confidence. I think another difference in the game was Najee Harris. Najee Harris had 111 yards. No running touchdowns, but he had a passing touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And Jalen Warren had
the
76 yards.
The game winning receiving touchdown.
Yeah. So you're talking about we as a team we ran for 187 yards. And you guys were about 115. And I know I said this last time, and people got a little upset about it, but I said, even though you guys were running very well on us, you guys weren't doing anything with it. You weren't scoring touchdowns. You got the one touchdown toward the end of the half on a really bad flag, but you guys still capitalized, scored a touchdown. But other than that, you had 2 field goals. And field goals aren't going to always win the game, so I think, like I said, the difference was turnovers, and Huntley made a late interception. You can't really say that was the reason why they lost the game, but they just really couldn't move the ball. He only had 130 yards, and your run game was good. J.K. Dobbins was running. I know Yolanda was in there saying strong and hard, and he was running really well. But then Huntley was just started making passes, and they just didn't do anything.
Right.
So at the end of the day, not getting turnovers, and not turning the ball over was a big part of the game for me.
Thanks. Shout out to my man Dennis Buchanan. Appreciate you stopping through, bro. He says, I swear to God, we better find Canada this year still.
Yo, for sure, Canada needs to go. The offense just looks so the running was good tonight. Kenny's throws were good, but the offensive scheme just is not what will work in the NFL right now. And I think that needs to change if you want the Steelers to be successful going forward. Like I said, I don't want them in the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
If we make it, we make it. It is what it is. But I would rather finish 9-8, not in the playoffs, and say, okay, we were 2 or 3 games, because I think the Jets game and the Pats game, if we just have won those, if we have won those games, we're now sitting at 10-6 going into the last game in a better spot. Mm-hmm. And you take that and say, okay, we're a couple of plays from being a better team in the playoff hunt. Now we just need to fill those pieces we're missing, because I think you have the team now. You got a quarterback that has driven you in 2 consecutive weeks down at the last end of the game, down the field to score touchdowns to win the game. You build off that. You got a great receiving core. You got Najee Harris running way better than he was in the beginning of the year. Your O-line, you need to just fix that up, bring in somebody to shore that up, and I think you got a good team. So, I think we need to get rid of Matt Canada to this point, because I just don't see what he brings to as far as offensive scheme to our team.
All right, Yolanda, your thoughts on the game?
I would say I was partially paying attention to the game because I largely had to defend myself against commentary in the chat. So I did miss a significant portion. I did DVR it, so I'll go back and watch. I will say that my main takeaway is that we miss Lamar, and his stock continues to rise each time Huntley gets on the field. Not to say that Huntley is not a good quarterback, a backup quarterback, and I'm not going to take anything away from him. He is just not that guy. And it shows clearly, it's underscored every time he steps on the field. I will say that I was pleased with Mandrews today. I liked the version of him that we watched. We did have a few sightings that were surprising. What's the guy's name? Andy Isabella. He made an appearance for maybe, half a second. And then I saw Prochet out there dawdling for a couple of times. He just continues to look lost to me. But I don't think that I think we continually come to these games and we look unprepared, and that's troubling. So I don't think that we're going to be able to just field goal our way into a Super Bowl. So unless we're able to correct these issues on offense that are just seeming to be plaguing us, I don't see us doing anything. The defense toward the end just kind of reiterated what they've done several games over. They just kind of collapse and it's like an epic fail. So as much money as we forked out for them, I expect more.
So you thought that we were a Super Bowl contender before Lamar went down?
Oh gosh, no. Did I say that? No,
I was just asking. I was just asking.
No. I'm just saying that like our offense cannot find a way to score, and that's problematic. And then more importantly, like even when we did have Lamar, we started like the season off pretty decent in terms of like our ability to score, but then we just, I don't know, we just dropped off, and it was like a lull for several weeks. And then, you know, I don't know that we're ever going to do better than what we're doing as long as Roman is still here. So it goes back to one of the questions I asked earlier. When is Greg Roman getting fired? Because I think that is probably my biggest gripe, that I think I see the same thing every single week. I'm like, and I'm tired of looking for something different each game and then being, you know, totally disappointed because I see the same exact pattern. And it's like, oh yeah, well, I should have known that. Shame on me. We still have Greg Roman. So I can't expect anything more. So kudos to you, Suge, and the Steeler Nation. Congrats on a win today.
Why don't
enjoy
we fire
it?
The man?
Because we're coming for you next season.
Why don't we fire the man that hired him? That's my question. Why do we not fire the man that hired him? Why do we got to fire Greg Roman? Listen, we don't have to fire Greg Roman. His contract is up after next week's game.
Yeah, but they extended him last year in the offseason. So what does that mean?
They extended him for 1 year.
Right. And they might extend him again this year. They might say, well, we want to extend him another year. So, I mean, I'm fine with, you know, like parting ways with Harbaugh too. Heck, if you want to like make it like a family affair, why don't we just clear the whole front office? And I'd be fine with that. I mean, there we go. We just start from like Sashi, who just got here. He's not doing a good enough job for me. So like, he's just like, I expected more from Sashi Brown. I expect him to be a little bit more hands-on.
So did you see what he did in Cleveland?
Did I see
what Sashi Brown did in Cleveland?
Yeah, I did. I heard about it. I read about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So my thing was, why would you think it would be any different when he came over here? This man.
I didn't. I don't. That's why I said he can go too. That's what I'm saying. All of them.
But you said you expected more.
I guess, you know, like sometimes you just, when you know better, you do better. And I guess I held him to that standard. Like, okay, hey, everybody makes mistakes. I'll give this gentleman some grace. He, you know, messed up over there in Cleveland, but he learned, right? He's going to come over here and he's going to not repeat the same things that the same mistakes that he made before. Okay, well, so much for that. So that's why I say he can be on that bandwagon too of like people that need to, you know, be fired as well or let go.
Oh, well, you know, everyone already knows how I feel. Let them all go. They have not done anything to impress me in the least bit. Listen, EDC, none of his draft picks have panned out. Tyler Linderbaum looks like a good one. Hollywood Brown, I like Hollywood. He was decent for us. And they should bring him back in the offseason. But these other picks, nothing. We have a punter in the 4th round. We had an injured tight end that made his first start in week 17. We had a 2nd-round linebacker that everyone claims is generational 1st-round talent. He's played for 6 snaps the whole season. He's back to being a healthy scratch or unhealthy scratch, whatever he is now. Harbaugh, every game he looks lost. Like I don't know why they pan the camera to him doing crucial situations because his mouth is always wide open and he's just looking lost with his hands in the air. I told y'all last night or the night before last, Saturday night, when it came to his brother, it runs in the family. Even the Harbaugh's father is looking at them like, "What are y'all doing?" So I just, I expected more out of the talent base or the talent level that we had because we put so much money into one side of the team. And when it counts the most, they fold. They fold like Suge playing with a deck of cards. It just doesn't work out. And then everyone wants to say, well, the offense. Yes, the offense takes its part of the blame, but where do we put all our money at? Where do we put all our resources at? We put it all into the defense because we expect to win games defensively. What does your coach say? We are a running team. We run and we play defense. Well, apparently we run sometimes and we play defense when we feel like it. And it's just not working out for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but the like I said, when you run the ball, It's what you do with it. You
Like
got to
that.
be able to score. Got to be able to score touchdowns. And I know Big Reg, and so I forgot who was in there in the stream who was saying it, but Hamilton missed like 4 or 5 tackles.
Z
That
the
would have
Beast.
would have changed the game. There was I know the JPP, we were all making the joke, he missed by a finger, things like that. Yeah.
You all.
I never said it. I'm not
You're
that
laughing. You're
disrespectful.
laughing.
Yeah, I was laughing. But Hamilton, from what I saw, he missed some plays in the backfield, easy tackles.
Jake.
Once you gave it at the end of the bar.
That's another Harbaugh. He gave a press conference talking about us at the end of the bar, talking about him and all that other stuff. Like we don't matter as fans. That's what that is.
Probably that's how he feels. Yeah, I mean, he missed a lot of tackles, and this was one of your high draft picks.
Mhm.
I felt like the Ravens, you're right, they were running the ball very well, especially Dobbins was just killing us, and then they just go away from it in the red zone, which doesn't make any sense, because that's where you should be running it the most, especially with Huntley, who's not, like Yolanda said, is not that guy. Is not that guy that's going to make these plays in the end zone. So you got to run JK. You got to, and Gus Edwards. I mean, I had his stats up a second ago. 3 carries for 2 yards. Like, I know, and we know, and Brodney was making the joke. Dobbins is running on one good leg, so I mean, why aren't you running Gus Edwards more? And if the Steelers can't stop you running the ball, then just keep doing it. You don't really, is Lamar. You got to remember, like Yolanda said, Lamar's not back there. So yeah, maybe in a critical, in a long down situation, you have Huntley throw the ball, but you should just be running it, and help protect Huntley from himself. You were commenting when we were watching the game. Mark Andrews decided to show up, and then all of a sudden, from the third quarter on, he disappeared again. And you said Huntley, that's his read. Go to Mark Andrews, and if not, take off running. Didn't throw the ball to him in that fourth quarter. I don't know. Didn't really see time of possession. I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't looked at a lot of the stats. But
AJ, what's going on?
Coming from a Steelers fan, I'm happy. Like I said, I wanted to see Kenny, see what we could do, in this kind of situation, driving down the field, get a touchdown, and he did it, and that's what I was happy about it. And as far as the Ravens go, yeah, man, it's gonna be a tough offseason, because Lamar still isn't signed. Lamar might go to another team, and then like Hosea said, like you said, Hendo, like a lot of people said, what are the Ravens going to do without Lamar? Because you see what they are without Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
If they're playing a bad team, they might win a game. If they're playing a decent team, they might win a game. If they're playing a good team, they have no shot. So what are they going to do if Lamar leaves? Is Huntley going to be your number 1 QB now? Are you going to draft one? Are you going to try to trade for one? What are you going to do? And is anybody going to want to come play for this team with who you have, as far as an offense? Maybe offensive line, yeah, pretty good, decent offensive line. But as far as offensive talent,
Big Reg, I thought we were friends. I really did. I said, "Oh gosh, Big Reg and I, that's my guy." And I just read your comment, and I said, "Oh boy,
get away!" Hilarious, sir. That is hilarious. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I was done with my point.
All right. So to my question to you, Yolanda, do you think that Lamar is playing a cat and mouse game with the Ravens, kind of showing them, listen, you want to play with my money? I'm gonna show you what I mean to this team, how much I'm a part of this offense, and the identity of what goes on.
I do not think so. And that is primarily because, as I've watched and I guess gleaned about Lamar's personality over the years, and the upstanding man that he is, I don't think that that's in his DNA to play those types of games. I think he's a very straight up individual. He's going to tell you what he means, and he's going to mean what he says. And so if he were physically able to play, I think he would play. I think he knows his worth well enough to say to the front office without having to say it, you all need me. And if you need an exhibit A, Tyler Huntley. And then you just go down the list of all of the things that Tyler Huntley did not do well. And you compare that list to all of the things that Lamar does well. And so I don't think that he needs to withhold or I don't think he needs to dangle a carrot, so to speak, in the faces of those at the front office, because it's evident. It's clear what he means to the team, what he brings to this organization, and what he brings to the game of football itself. And to answer your question, D Weezy, we were friends. were. Prior to the last stream, you were absolutely on my friend list. Now there's just a question mark.
Just all of these vague threats, just pew, 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 everywhere.
No, I just answered his question. He asked a question, and he wanted to know, so I didn't want to be rude and not answer his question. So, we were.
Okay, so for those of you that weren't a part of the last stream, what's going on is we decided, listen, we are going to have more patron interaction. So if you are a patron of mine, you have an opportunity, just like Yolanda be here, to be a part of a stream. Now, being that Yolanda is one of the more popular patrons throughout the Ravens community because she supports everyone, they said, hey, bump that. Let's just find a segment for Yolanda. And Brodney was like, hey, we're going to call it Yolanda B. Raven. And everybody was like, that is so clever. Double entendre. Amazing. Wow. And then, of course, Yolanda got offended for some reason. Don't know why. Not going to speculate, but she got offended and thought that we were attacking her when all we wanted was more content. We just wanted more time.
I didn't get offended. I'm not going to say that.
Well, what are you going to say then? What do you want to call it then?
Oh, I will call it, how about, put it in the chat. Let me know. Caught off guard versus offended. What do you guys think? You guys think it was caught off guard? I'm going to go with that one.
Oh, no. So my thing is, you can be caught off guard, but we can't be caught off guard while we're streaming. Like we're talking about a certain subject and we see the comments, and in the comments says something about, hey, Saturday Night Suge, Brodney and the boys. Like we don't get caught off guard as well?
Absolutely not, because you have a history of knowledge that is a topic that will likely be floated about during your streams. And I can give you an example. So if we want to take it back to one of Suge's streams that he did, he brought up the notion or the idea of, quote, hashtag hanging with Hendo. So therefore you were put on notice.
We don't speak those words here.
You were put on notice that hanging with Hendo was a thing, or it was a possible thing. So therefore, in your future streams, you should not have been caught off guard or taken aback. We've not had any conversation, dialogue, or correspondence to the situation that like, oh, Yolanda is going to appear on your stream. So I wasn't offended. I was taken off guard.
So basically what you're saying is, when y'all keep talking this hashtag hang with Hendo, and I keep telling y'all no, when y'all keep stream bullying me, and I'm like, no, I'm offended, I'm hurt, stop, please. And y'all like, no, you're gonna do it. Saturday nights, make it happen. And I'm like, please stop, I'm just a little guy. Like,
Oh, kind of like what happened tonight?
Not at all.
With Yolanda. Oh, okay.
That was just a suggestion.
Oh, that was different, right? That was different. I'm sure
that was different. And this is a reoccurring thing, because this has been going on for weeks now. Every stream,
and you haven't done the hanging with Hendo. That's what I'm saying. So you got to give the people what they want, right? Because hence the reason that you have me on here, because you said that this is what the people wanted, right?
So if that
works for me, then it must apply to you. So if the people are asking for hanging with Hendo, and I do recall you putting a poll on your show, on your channel. Do you recall the results of that poll, Hendo?
It's still an ongoing poll.
Do you know who's leading at the moment? Because at the
no.
present, the last time I checked, and if you want me to, I can check right now.
Nah, you good. Let me delete it real quick.
Oh.
You good. But you missed the whole point of what I was saying. The point of what I was saying was, and you just said it yourself, give the people what they want. Apparently, the people want Yolanda to be Raven. But now you're trying to backtrack.
That was literally just Brodney. That was Brodney. And
okay,
Brodney,
so listen.
You know what? You're no longer on the Christmas list, Brodney, for that one.
So since we want to do that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in Twitter. I'm gonna put it on my community tab. So everybody vote yes or no if they want to see Yolanda be Raven. Like she says, you got to give the people what they want.
You absolutely do that. You sure will. And I'll have plenty of commentary to guide all of the voters to make sure that they are knowledgeable before they cast their vote. You absolutely do it. I stand for it. I'm here for it.
Do your thing. Watch the campaign that I run. And Suge ain't do it, but I'm gonna say it. Old Man Games is back.
In fact, I don't have the.
I know you like you're gonna. All right, y'all got off track. So let's get back to this game. You know, we can talk about Yolanda be Raven later.
That's a great Yolanda. You got to.
That is. You have to admit. That's
a fire name though.
Come on, even Chen Wu agrees. Fire name.
Chen Wu, my fellow positivity. You cannot be siding with Brodney on that. No, you're supposed to be on my side. We love Owe, remember? It's just the two of us. We got to stick together.
He didn't side with Brodney. I just made it look that way. That's why I flashed the comment up real quick. He didn't.
Let me find the comment myself.
You want the comment? This is the comment that Chen Wu put up.
There you go. See? Chinwu, leave a comment. Let us know you are not in agreement with this Yolanda B. Raven thing that they're trying to establish. Let us know, Chinwu. See, he said no.
No, he said, "Oh, my bad." He didn't say anything about no.
What he meant to say was no, and so I was just helping you. Like that's right, Chinwu.
Listen, and we forgot in the midst of all this, one of the co-hosts of all of these shows, Mr. J6. Shout out to him. He's gonna be the co-host of whatever we come up with. It's just Saturday night. Yeah, she was. It's a great segment. Yes. Thank you, Mr. J. Great segment. But back to the game.
There's Chen Wu's comment.
Yeah, he don't disagree. All right, man. It's okay. None of us do. We all love it. All right, let's get back to the game. So, Yolanda, if you could, please, could you give me your offensive and defensive players of the game, if you have any?
Let's see. On offense, I'm gonna give it to Mark Andrews, and the reason is, I know he's come under flack, and rightfully so, because of how much he's getting paid, and the fact that this season he's just been off. He's been missing. He's just not been consistently showing up. Tonight, I was pleasantly surprised, and I was very, very pleased to see him resemble what I would think is a top-notch or a quality, I'll say that, tight end in the league. So I'm going to give that award to Mark Andrews.
Okay.
Defensive player of the game. I don't know. None of them really stood out to me as one to watch. So let me ponder that and circle back if you please, and then I might have an answer for you on that one.
All right, Suge.
Actually, I agree with Yolanda here. I think J.K. Dobbins would have gotten it, but Mark Andrews had 9 receptions for 100 yards and 11.1 average. I think you absolutely go with Mark Andrews and what he was able to do tonight. Like I said before, had J.K. Dobbins be able to turn those runs into touchdowns, I think the game's a little different, and you could probably give it to him, but he wasn't. And Mark Andrews was able to get open, but like I said, kind of disappeared in that third quarter, the second part, and into the fourth quarter. And I say defensively, I think you got to give it to I believe was it Urban? Was it
Brent
Urban?
Urban?
Yeah, he got the couple pass blocks, and a couple good stops down in the red zone. The defensive line, nobody else was really doing much. I mean, you had Matabika get a sack, you had JPP get a sack. So I give it to Urban for me.
All right. Jeez. So for me, I agree. Mark Andrews, listen, he had 9 targets, 9 catches, 100%. He didn't have any drops, which he normally does throughout the season, for 100 yards even. But for me, I'm gonna go with J.K. Dobbins. Unfortunately, this was the game that they chose to finally give J.K. more than 15 carries in the game. Although it was 17, he normally gets around 13, 14. They cut him short, put him on the bench. They let him run. He's running well. I think once he gets his wind and gets reacclimated to being the main primary carrier through a full game, it'll be better. But I think he ran hard. What's going on, Coach?
What up, Coach?
Shout out Sip the Tally Films. Listen, tonight, 9 p.m., Ravens Roundtable on Sip the Tally Films. Myself, Coach Evans, Jose and Brodney, Lunch Break Hot Take, Open Mic with OTR Mike, and Chris Just Joking. Make sure y'all come check us out. Defensively, everybody's kind of lost and stuck on this defensive performance because nobody really stuck out. Yolanda, she passed until she can come up with something reasonable, I guess. Brodney said Brent Urban is theirs, but I'm going to take this differently.
I mean, my name's Suge, but sure.
Sugarton. What would I call you?
Rodney.
I'm sorry.
Just
I was reading his name. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing.
Am I that negative tonight?
No, man. I apologize. I was reading his name. But so for my defensive player of the game, he only had one. He had 1 tackle. It's James Prochet on special teams. I'm going with James Prochet. He's the only one worth his weight in salt, because if we started putting salaries next to production, I guess for this one game, it's about right. Because the rest of the dudes, I mean, listen, we have that high-priced defense. Nobody really stood out. Kyle Hamilton, he was flying around. He had some tackles. Brandon Stevens, he covered a little bit better. But listen, when we needed to stop the most, we couldn't get it. When we needed guys to make tackles, they missed them, as always. So, I'm going Prochet.
Sure.
So how about you, Yolanda? Have you found someone?
I did. And Chen Wu alluded to it in his comment, which was spot on. Chen Wu said that Owe was giving it his all out there. And I will say, I'm not going to give him the award of defensive player of the game, but I will say at least this game, he didn't get pummeled like he did the last time.
You want
the
to put the
last
background
game
on?
against the Falcons.
You want me to put the background on real quick?
I'm sorry?
Do you want me to put the background on real quick?
Oh, no, thanks. Thank you for that. But no, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. But he at least stayed upright from what I saw.
He did.
And so that's a plus. I don't know what you mean, Rodney. Don't you dare.
Don't you make Owe your player of the defensive player of the game. That's what he's saying.
I said I'm not going to give him that award, but I am going to acknowledge, right? Improvement, incremental improvement. And that's what I said. I did indicate I'm not here to give him, the award, but I am going to recognize that last week, this time, he was lying on the ground more than he was upright. So at least in this game, there was improvement in that area. So to that end, kudos to you, Owe.
You still haven't named your defensive player of the game.
I don't have one. None of them wowed me. So I unfortunately, I'm going to pass. I'm going to skip.
Wow. We had to pass. All right, listen. So if you would like to be like Yolanda and possibly get an opportunity to be on the stream, join the Patreon, become a patron, get the benefits of being in a stream and ignoring the questions totally and just making a segment about what you want to make it about, or big up in a player that you feel deserves props that doesn't do anything during games. because that's what patrons do. They do what they want to do. You know, I've lost control. Brady, you're right. I've lost control. Like, she really took that segment to big up Owe, and he did absolutely nothing. Oh, did Patrick Queen play? Did he play? Did y'all see Patrick Queen play?
Roquan Smith got scored on.
Patrick Queen had 6 tackles. I honestly did not see that dude play. And I asked Brian, I said, did Queen play? Did anybody see him? Did Marlon Humphrey play? I didn't see him either. Are you ignoring me now, Yolanda?
I was trying to hold it in, but no, I did not. I didn't. And I mentioned that earlier, but that's not to say he did or he did not. That is simply to say that, and I'll say it again, I had to spend a large portion of the game defending myself against commentary that was taking place during the stream. So there might have been portions of the game that I just did not see. So I can't answer that with any manner of certainty or definitiveness as to whether Queen was out there and whether he was good or not. I don't know.
You know what? I believe her. The way she just put that.
Wasn't that a compelling argument? Oh, that was
a
good.
great argument. That was a great argument.
Listen, I'm not trying to.
I would have fumbled all of that. I would have been like, I don't know.
See?
Listen, I'm not putting nobody's business out there, but somebody, you know, they do certain things, you know, and they have experience doing stuff. So I'm just, you know, I don't believe anything people say because you know, some people are authentic car salesmen. You know, they practice public speaking for a living.
I'm not a car salesman, so I wouldn't know what I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
I don't want to put your business out there, but you already know what I mean.
I take your point.
You know what I mean? Some people were in a debate club in school and they love to debate with people.
How did you like being in the debate club?
It didn't bother me because I stopped listening to the point because you weren't defending yourself. You were just sitting there complaining about, oh no, poor me. Why do y'all want to big up me? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. Coach did have a great stream tonight. I did have him up on my other screen. I didn't have him. I didn't have audio, but I did have Coach on, and great stream, Coach.
You had to block somebody?
Yeah, he said he had to block somebody, but he was doing afterwards. He was doing a call-in show, which
he does that.
Amazing. Yeah. I need to get with him on that because I want to do something like that eventually. But yeah, great stream, Coach. Yeah, Jabu, where's he at? And then let's talk about George Pickens.
Here we go.
And that disrespectful AI step over where a flag should have been thrown. He disrespected him. That was wrong.
Do you think that warranted a flag, Yolanda?
That was probably one of those portions of the game that I missed because I saw bits and pieces, but I didn't see like the whole thing. So I did hear a lot of the I saw the chat when the flag was thrown. So I mean,
no, it wasn't. A flag was not thrown. When you rewatch the game, watch how George Pickens caught the ball and then stepped over Brandon Stevens.
Yeah, disrespectful.
People were saying, "Oh, that deserves the flag. That's taunting."
Right?
No,
there was no flag.
Why should there have been?
Because of what you just said, that it was taunting. He shouldn't have stepped over him. That was rude. That wasn't polite.
He had to get like the way that they were positioned. He had to step over him. He just didn't have to look down at him when he did it.
Exactly. So that was unsportsmanlike.
But you get paid to stop me from catching balls. If you just stopped me from catching that ball, we wouldn't have this situation right now.
And that was
a show out after you do it.
I mean, you had your boy Steven. I'm a pay. Stevens made a stop on Pickens and started dancing. So come on,
didn't he? He was.
I wanted to tell him to sit down and don't do that. And then like the next play, I think he got roasted. I think or something. A couple of plays later, it was like, okay, no, you should have known better.
Jose, we don't snitch. Don't do that. We don't snitch. But to your point, Yolanda, yes, they get paid to entertain. That is their job, entertainment, and that is entertaining to some fans.
I hear you, and you know, touche.
That's why he was dancing. That's why he was dancing, Brady. That's not why he was dancing.
Yeah, no, Living Legends right. That catch though by Pickens, man, woo.
was a heck of
That
Yeah,
a
Pickens
was
is so
amazing.
nice.
Yeah,
Pickens is
I-
nice.
But y'all wanted a Jabbo, so
I did not. I
not you. When I
still
say you,
question.
when I say you, I don't mean you in here. I mean you in the Ravenverse.
I just question why the Ravens constantly select or pick or have talks with injured players.
Because
That just baffles me, especially when there are available players that could contribute
because
meaningfully.
because we like to be the smartest people in the room, or we like to appear to be the smartest people in the room. When we selected Kyle Hamilton, it was, oh, look at EDC and the Ravens fleecing the NFL. They've done it again. Look how smart they are getting the top 5 pick at number 14. Then with David Ajabo, oh my gosh, in the second round, they got this top 15 talent in the second round. Look how smart they are. Oh my gosh. Travis Jones in the third round, he's got first round potential. Look how smart they are. So it's always about trying to be the smartest person in the room. It's not actually about being the best evaluator of talent. I've said this before. The Ravens have said time and time again, we are a height, weight, speed team. That is what we evaluate when we go to the combine, when we bring in free agents, when we try to pick players. This is what we look for. You never in your life will ever hear the Baltimore Ravens in their front office say, we are looking for people that can play. We're looking for talented players. No, they want somebody that's tall, that's fast, and has some weight on him. So trying to be the smartest people in the room is what we always want to appear to be. But in retrospect, what ends up happening is we always get the wrong person. Because like you said, we end up drafting injured people. Not only a Jabo, Charlie Kolar, like we keep getting dudes. And then nobody wants to be here. That's why Batty left and went somewhere else. All right. Next topic is going to be Yolanda. Give me your good, bad, and ugly of the game. Be interested.
The good is that we at least won. We at least won one of the games with the Steelers. So that's the good part. That this was not a sweep. So at least we were able to squeak out a win earlier in the season.
Okay.
Not a whole lot was good about this game to me. This particular game, it was kind of like a snooze fest for the most part, and like up until the very end when the defense just decided they were going to be out to lunch, and they just refused to show up in a meaningful way. It really wasn't all that entertaining. The bad, I would say, is the fact that we just never seem to be, we don't look like a prepared team. And that's, to me, if you're talking about success at any level, and it's not just NFL, it can be personal life, it can be professional, your level of preparedness is very important. And the fact that week after week, we just look like an unprepared team. Like, I know they have practice during the week. I mean, I see the pressers, I see the guys out there. I know that they are practicing, but why doesn't that translate into the actual game? That would make more sense to me than watching a team that looks like they have done nothing all week, like they've been on vacation and they just like showed up on a Sunday. The ugly, I would say, is the fact that we cannot ever have a lead in the fourth quarter and feel as though our team is going to be victorious. Every single time we have a lead, I don't care how many points we are up ahead, every time we have a lead, I'm still very nervous. And unless and until that clock hits 0 at the end of the fourth quarter, I'm not comfortable with this team. I'm not confident in this team's ability to be able to be successful. So I think that's really, really the ugly for me.
And JP says the ugly has to be the fact that NBC flexes game and we're all up late now. Amen to that, brother.
We could have been doing this.
Agreed,
We could have been doing the stream at like 6.
We could right and been over and done and enjoying our night. But go ahead, Suge, let me know your good and bad and ugly takes from this game, please.
I'll start with the ugly. I have to say it's the coaching. I mean, you're up 10 points, and you're running all over the Steelers. Why do you stop running the ball and put the ball in Huntley's hand? and there was a point where Hill ran the ball back to the 39. You're on the other side of the field on a kickoff,
Right.
and get no points. Get no points out of that. The bad, I would have to say, obviously the Lamar situation, because like Yolanda said, Huntley's. You see what you guys are with Huntley, and it ain't good. And I think that's makes things worse in re-signing Lamar, because he doesn't have to say anything. Look at the team now, last year and this year. Without me, you guys are not good. Therefore, you got to pay me. So I think that's the bad. I think the good that came out of this game is the fact that we have Yolanda be raving and Yolanda here.
Okay.
I think that's what the good is.
I like how you spun it.
So I think that's a great thing to come out of this game.
Yeah, I like that.
Yolanda be raving.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Wow, that is very heartfelt. For my one and only, let me repeat, my one and only time being on this show or any other show. So thank you so much for that. I feel that.
No. You're gonna be on Tuesday. I'm sending you the link. Remember that.
And then whenever OTR Mike is, and then next Sunday, get used to it.
Yeah, we're gonna start like Rodney, just doing streams. You get it
all week long. And then listen.
Long.
Then we got the off season, so we got to make up stuff to do, because we can't keep talking about the Ravens all off season. It's not gonna be a whole lot. So we're just getting the people used to you, getting them comfortable. I don't know if even she needs to come on the show with us. We may be able to just make her own show, Yolanda B. Raven. Like, it doesn't have to be a part of anything. It can stand on its own merit. She can have her own show, do what she wants to do. Listen. We can flip it however you want. But anywho, back to the
Where
game.
are my friends in the chat? If you are here and you are one of the Yolanda friends, if you can just go ahead and leave a comment really quickly to say that you are anti what Suge and the propaganda from Suge and Hendo.
And,
just leave a quick message in here, and I'd really appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Even Bradley says you're about to be a star.
We're about to make you a star, even though you already are one. Chin Wu says Harves will motivate our guys to the playoffs. How? If he can't motivate us to win a division title, and he can't motivate us for a Sunday night game where we're the only game on right now against a division rival at home, if he can't motivate us for something as simple as this, how's he going to motivate us for the playoffs? Has he motivated us for the playoffs over the last 4 years? He has not, because we've done nothing. But, we love the positivity, Chen Wu. You just be wrong about a lot of stuff. So for my good, bad, and ugly, the good is people are starting to see this team for what it really is, not a contender. All season long, I've been hearing, oh, we're Super Bowl contenders. We can do this. We can run our way to the Super Bowl. I said when the season started, when I did my preseason show, I said, listen, we're going to be a 10-7 team. That's my prediction. If I got to bring it up, I will, and I'll make a video about it. But I said this team was going to be 10-7, and everybody said, you're crazy. We just got an A++++++ draft. We got all these number one picks through 7 rounds, and we're about to turn the football world upside down. I said this team is going to be one and done in the playoffs, and everybody said, you're crazy, you're a hater. I said, okay, we'll see. But I just think that the good is we've all come to the realization now that we are not as good as we once thought we were. The bad has to be Ravens fans deciding that they're going to come big up defensive players that aren't doing a darn thing, that haven't done a darn thing throughout the season, but they want to give them props anyway and defend them. Listen, I applaud you for being such a loyal fan. I applaud you for sticking by the players that you like. But in retrospect, in all truthfulness, a lot of these guys aren't good. Just because they were drafted in the first round does not mean that they were first round talent. Just because they're playing better than they were playing at the beginning of the year doesn't mean that they are living up to expectations. It just means we are saddled with mediocrity, and we're happy with that around here. If dudes play mediocre, we're good. I don't care if you were a top 5 pick in the draft. You have mediocre stats. You're doing your thing. The ugly is probably for me going to be after the stream, once I watch the Baltimore Ravens press conference and I hear John Harbaugh spew the same nonsense that he does week in and week out after every win, after every loss, year after year, and Ravens fans just they eat it up and say, oh, Harbaugh said we're going to do better, we're going to coach better, we're going to play better. So this team has to be better. So for me, that is the ugly, and I just can't wait for this season to be over to find out how the world turns in Lamar Jackson's world and see where he's going, because Lamar Jackson does dictate the future of this channel.
Facts. And you got look at Yolanda. You got people in the chat saying, "I am pro Yolanda, joining y'all. No more 2-hour streams. We need a 3-hour stream minimum with Yolanda." Yolanda, you're already a star.
We were going to gloss over those comments and just move right on to the next portion of the show.
What's going on, Emphasis? Thank you, Emphasis. Thank you, Emphasis, for joining this program. Now, sometimes when you sit there and you run your mouth, it backfires on you. When you sit there and you get up on stage, you be like, yo, my people, if you with me where you at, thinking there's nobody around.
Where are you?
There's always somebody around. Oh, they're here because we see them. They're sitting there. I'm pro Yolanda. Go, you go, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, like they sitting up there rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? They sit there rooting for you. So Yolanda, B, it's up to you how you want to do this. If you want to be segmented and be a part of somebody's show, or if you want to do your own thing and just branch off and be the star that you are, K Solo. Let me know what you want to do.
I'll tell you what, I'll have my people call your people. We'll do it that way.
No, we're here now. Like you've been saying throughout this whole stream. Get the people what they want, because they want to know what you want to do. Listen, this is a football program, but we're here for life. We're here for other things. We're here to talk about anything that we so choose.
And this is a safe space, Yolanda.
It's a safe space.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so kind. I really, really appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mull over my options, and then I will make sure that business hours, Monday through Friday, between 9 and 5.
Yeah, that's not how we operate. This is YouTube. We don't operate like that. There are no business hours when it comes to YouTube. Like that's the old guard. Like we don't have a TV program that comes on from a time to a certain time. This is where we control the narrative of what we want to do, how we want to do it, how long we want to go with it. I'm sure. Let's see.
I tell you what.
Now Wednesday.
Rodney.
That's always the thing.
Rodney just brought up a good point. He heard that there was an opening on Saturdays. Okay. And so to that point, Rodney, I really believed, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the Saturday segment was hanging with Hendo.
It wasn't.
So that segment is already booked. And so I don't want to step on toes. And I don't want to overstep, because I believe in staying in my lane.
I just got pedicure. It's good.
He's already, solidified. I'm not going to take over. So
listen.
Thanks so much for that.
I love it.
Y'all notice out there, every time she starts talking nonsense, her audio goes out. Y'all notice that, right? I noticed it. But let's move on, since she wants to be like that. All right, so this segment is going to be pretty hard. I don't know if it's really, but I'm sure somebody's going to have one person. So this is going to be our risers and fallers section. Name any players that you feel throughout the game, throughout the season. It doesn't matter who you feel like. And Suge, for you, it could be somebody on your team. It does not have to be on the Ravens that you feel has either elevated their play or have declined in play since the season started.
Yeah, I mean, I as far as the Steelers go, obviously Kenny Pickett and George Pickens, they've come up really big in games, and especially in the last 6. You've gone from 2-6 to 6-2 over that span. Mm-hmm. That's awesome, and I really feel like Kenny has really, really developed. And like I said, he took that step. Now we're going to see next year if he can take that next step. And obviously, George Pickens is just a menace. I love everything he's doing. As far as the Ravens, as far as risers, I think J.K. Dobbins, man. I mean, B has said it. He's running on one leg, and he's still getting almost 100 yards. Imagine if he had 2 good legs. So J.K. Dobbins. I think fallers for me, as far as the Ravens would go,
Right.
I would have to say Kyle Hamilton. You know, he just
Ooh.
doesn't look
Ooh.
like he was 14th, right?
14th.
He doesn't look like it. He doesn't look like it. He's just not missing tackles, out of position sometimes. I just doesn't look like it. And as far as the Steelers' fallers, um, I say Deontay Johnson. Doesn't have a touchdown this year for the Steelers, and it was the guy that you guys just signed, re-signed, giving him a big contract and no touchdowns. So that that's a follow for me as far as the Steelers.
All right. How about you, Yolanda?
My riser of the game is going to be Lamar Jackson, because every time we witness the woes of Tyler Huntley, I just think that his stock, his worth, all of that, his price tag significantly increases. So if there was a doubt in the Ravens front office mind as to like the significance or the importance of having Lamar on the team, their doubts have been staved, so to speak, because we can clearly see that with Tyler Huntley, the job just does not get done. It gets done to a degree, but it just doesn't get done to the level and the intensity that it does with Lamar. So he's going to definitely be my riser.
Okay.
Faller of the game, I'm going to just say the whole defense. Really, and I say that because no one stood out to me. I didn't see a player on defense who consistently, from start to finish, and I don't mean to say that there were not sporadic moments where one player had a good play or they did something remarkably well. That's great. What I'm looking for as a fan, I'm looking for sustained ability. I'm not looking for the periodic, episodic moments of greatness. No, I want to know, can you go out there and play the entire game? I don't care how long the defense has to be on the field. And I get it that, hey, our offense just keeps the defense on the field because they just can't seem to keep the ball long term. But I understand they look lackluster, especially for the amount of money that we've paid or invested into this team, into this side. Is going to be the defense as a whole. And when I say the defense, let's go ahead and add Mike McDonald to that list as well. So yeah, he's definitely a part of that. So
okay. So to your point, when people keep saying, "Oh my gosh," the offense just keeps getting off the field and the defense, has to play longer. Well, my rebuttal to that is, isn't that why we have so much depth? Isn't that what the people cry all the time? Oh, EDC built so much depth on his defense. Oh, the depth. Should that depth come in during those times when their players get tired? Shouldn't we be able to rotate people in and out for that fact?
We should be, but I don't think the depth that we have is impactful, because that would seemingly be the only plausible reason as to why the depth doesn't come in and give the primary relief. Hey, there's something wrong with the depth that we have. They're not going to be able to stand against this opposing team, and whoever that opposing team is, and today it just happened to be the Steelers. But more importantly, that depth, they're not coming in for a reason. So for me, in my eyes, I'm just thinking, okay, well, they're not it.
All right. We got another donation from Brodney. Appreciate you, bruh. Got a $10 tip saying, great stream. Thank you for joining, Yolanda. Can't wait to hear more from you. She is already a star.
Brodney?
Already a star.
I have a 30-day refund on the birthday gift I bought you. And I think I might just have to take that back within that 30-day window.
Wow. Wow. Big Red says, oh, it can't be a fall. He actually was able to stand up this week. Hilarious. All right. So for me.
That's right, Big Reg. He stood up. He was upright this week, and that was a good thing. So that's noteworthy.
For once. For me, my risers and fallers. Jeez, riser in this game. Um, did we really have anything to be positive about in this game?
I said
Uh,
J.K. Dobbins.
okay. Jesus, my riser, if I have one, would have to be JK. I mean, we don't have much else on this team to really be proud of. And to your point, Yolanda, and somebody else said it in the chat, Rise is Lamar Jackson. Like he's making a point without making a point. He's done things his own way. He's followed his own path, and he's going to come out making more money, whether it's with the Ravens or with whether it's with another team. I know Noah said Miami, Broadney thinks Carolina. It doesn't matter. Lamar's going to go ahead and get 250, 300 mil guaranteed from some team. The fallers for me are going to have to be Eric DeCosta's 2022 NFL draft. Aside from Tyler Linderbaum, none of these guys are actually moving the needle for me. None of these guys are making plays to win us games. They've made mistakes to help us lose games. They've literally done nothing to help us get by. Another faller for me is John Harbaugh. I believe he is slowly but surely losing his team. Like I think he's losing the locker room because with any situation, coaches' messages get stale. After a while, they get tired of hearing the same thing, the same speeches, the same tone. They need a new voice in the building. And then when you're losing, and you're losing in the same fashions that you have over time, and you're not making any corrections, I think the team is like, look, we're better off without you. You keep bringing in these dead offensive coordinators, you keep bringing in these defensive coordinators that stick to the Raven style, and they can't be authentically themselves as coaches. I don't know why, because Harbaugh cannot oversee offense, nor can he oversee defense. I just think Harbaugh is the biggest faller of all. And I got my riser. I'm sorry. It just hit me. My riser is the seat in Greg Roman's office. It is rising to a temperature. It is rising to a temperature that he will not be able to sit on much longer. So, yeah, that's my rises and my falls. All right, y'all. We have been in here for an hour and 7 minutes. I appreciate each and every one of you that stood by with us. If you are new here, once again, thank you for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, comment, share this video with others. Also, even if you've been here before, make sure you go over to the audio side of things. Wherever you find your audio podcast, I am now there. I'm out here. Make sure you go out there and like it. Make sure you give it 5 stars and help boost me up. My ratings keep going up in good pods. Like one week, I'm in the top 5. Next week, bottom 100.
I mean, now that you got Yolanda, you're gonna be number one.
Son, I think once somebody listens to this and they like, oh, I see we got an extra voice up in the house, I'm about to shoot up. And I'm sure they're going to listen to it multiple times because they need to find out who she is and where they can find her. Now, for
They
my
can't
audio
find me. I'm not searchable.
Now, for my audio podcast listeners, listen, you can't find her now, but you will be in the future. We're going to make sure Yolanda B. Raven comes to an audio podcast near you. Not only are we going visual, we're going audio. We will be here for your audible pleasures, your visual pleasures. We got it all. Yolanda B. Raven. Will she be raving about sports? I don't know. Will she be raving about fashion? Who's to say? But we're going to give you that content that you need. So we have elaborated on this game enough. Now we are going to the remittance portions of the show. This is where the people on the panel or the people in the chat, we can talk about anything that your heart desires. You are now rocking with the best. So tell us what you got on your mind. It don't have to be sports. It can be anything. It can be life. Whatever you want to talk about. It could be Yolanda B. Raven. We can beat that dead horse. Whatever you want to talk about in the chat, on the panel, let's go. But this is time, because once I get to this portion, I get real excited and I'll be ready to go. So,
right? No, I just want to thank Yolanda for coming on, man. It's been awesome. She's well spoken, great. She's amazing. Like, I think she's about to take my spot on this panel now. I think I'm done in Ravens Online Gatekeeper streams now. I think you should have Yolanda on all the time.
Suge, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the thoughtful words, but the answer is no. And you have, there's no one that can take your place. So you are going to
sure there is.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So no, we won't hear of that.
Suge is emotional and Yolanda is zesty. So,
fired on his day off.
Nobody is fired. There's nobody to be fired. First of all, for listen, LBHT, crew, patrons, whatever. Y'all already know. This show right here is open. It's an open place. Like, y'all come on whenever y'all feel like. There's no fired. There's no hired. If you want to be on here, if you got something to say, well, I'm sorry. If you have something real to say, not just come on here and talk no BS. Because sometimes y'all just be saying some things, and I just sit there and like, oh, wow. Y'all can come on.
I do have a real question though, Yolanda. How's it feel to be a star now?
Facts.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I haven't reached stardom, and that's not really one of my aspirations. So I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable going to work every day in my lane, which does not equate, nor does it cross over. There's no, I guess, causal connection between Yolanda and star. Yolanda doesn't do that. So I really don't know to answer your question.
Okay, y'all. So
you can tell me though, because you are a star.
Just to let y'all know, basically what Yolanda's telling y'all is she puts her pants on one leg at a time, like everybody else. She puts the shoe on one shoe at a time, 1 foot at a time. She's just like us. This is what she's telling us. No need to get all starstruck. Need to get tongue tied. She's one of us. This is what she's really saying to y'all. And Bradley said it best. Some are chosen. Exactly. Like, listen, some are called, some are chosen. And we can't help where we're destined to go. Like, things happen for a reason. You came on this stream for a reason. Whether you wanted it to lead to other things or not, sometimes things snowball. And right now, you're the hot topic. Like, you are the bee's knees. You are
very much
what's popping. So, hey, take it for what it is, and we'll move forward in the future. Thanks, God's plan.
I'm going to reserve my comment, Terry, and just not, but okay.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. Attitude Pop says, should Tua Tagovailoa retire?
That's a great question. That's a great one.
He's had several concussions this year, probably some that he has not even spoken about. So how do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like he should just sit out the rest of the year, try to come back next year, or should he just call it a career?
I think you should sit out for the rest of the year and get evaluated next year. Because we had this conversation last week, because Kenny has been in concussion protocol twice already this year. And I said if he got into a third one, he definitely should. He would probably have to sit out for the rest of the year and seek an evaluation, because it's not like Tua's getting hit and having these concussion protocols and, it's like on the borderline, or, we don't, it's like where it's not as bad. We've literally seen him on the field knocked out with his hands in a stiff position, his body in a stiff position. And the last time he was on the field, he got taken to the ground, and it wasn't even like a slam or a bad, helmet to helmet hit or anything like that. It was a simple tackle, and he's getting concussions. So I think it would be best for him to sit out for the rest of the year, get reevaluated next year, and make that decision of if he wants to play or if he wants to retire, because I don't want to see something happen to him. Especially, and like I said, 3 concussions in 1 year. And they've been bad, visually bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he needs to think about himself and his family first.
Yolanda?
I agree. I think while the sport is wonderful and it's thrilling and it's exhilarating, and for him, for Tua, it is his livelihood. Taking care of himself and his health matters. And though it might be a difficult decision for him to make, the decision should be his to make alone, after sufficient consult with neurospecialist and whatever his medical team recommend, but I do think that the more he is put out there at risk, I'm looking at and considering long-term consequences and how it will affect him 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now. And so the ramifications or repercussions of multiple concussions in one season is, it's unfathomable. So I would, if I were offering wise counsel to him, I would definitely recommend that he take a hard look at and decide for himself, is it worth it? Is it worth me losing a part of myself for the game? And so.
Right. Yeah, I believe that he should retire immediately, or at least after the season. Just stay out the last game, retire, because you have to look at it like this. Like Suge said, and we've talked about before, that last concussion that he got, routine play. It wasn't nothing emphatic. It wasn't anything out of the way. So you have to realize every time that man gets a concussion, it makes him more susceptible to get another one. So even after let's say after his playing days are over and he's at home, and I know that listen, this happens to me all the time. I'm going somewhere, I'm moving around, I'll hit my head on something. Or I'm sitting somewhere looking for something on the table, bam, hit my head. Now he's got a concussion just from doing things at home. And you never know when that one concussion is going to take you out. Listen, I know they're gladiators. They have that gladiator mentality. They want to win. They want to prove their manhood, because sometimes in the world of sports, especially football, these players want to prove how tough they are, how manly they are, how many injuries they can overcome or what they can play through. But we've seen from the past, and there have been I can't remember the guy from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He shot himself. He had CTE really bad.
From the Steelers? You mean Kansas City?
No, from the Steelers. I can't remember his name. Damn it, Brady. But yes, he's not the only one. Junior Seau, he took his own life. Like, CTE is real. That's why we see a lot of these players nowadays retiring after 1 or 2 seasons. I mean, Luke Kuechly retired. He's at the top of his game. He could have gone down as one of the best linebackers ever. Patrick Willis, the kid Borland from San Francisco, he retired after his rookie season. I think he only made like $370,000, and he said, "You know what? My health is a little bit more important than this money." Yes, Dave Dorson from the Chicago Bears. Like, this stuff is real, and I think that we don't even have the slightest clue, or we don't have as much information on it as we think that we do, because we don't really know the effects of one concussion. We don't know the effects of 2 concussions, and this man has had 3 concussions in an NFL season. And an NFL season is not even 365 days. It's not a calendar year. It is over the course of several months. And he's going out here getting hit. Listen, for us, we want them to play, we want our teams to win. But it's not such a beautiful story when Tua's 32 years old and he can't remember how to drive home. He can't remember where he lives or what his kid's first name is. You know what I'm saying? We want them to do the things to entertain us, but I think that their health is a little bit more important than what we as fans want, what they want to do to kind of prove their ego. Mr. J, why, bruh? We talking about something. We don't care. Nobody cares about Patrick Queen right now. We're talking about some serious stuff here. But yes, Attitude Pop, I think that Tua should just shut it down for good. Like, listen, and if he did, everyone would understand. So yeah, he needs to retire.
Yeah, for sure. And like Coach said, Andrew Luck was the top of his game, and he decided to retire because he said, your health is more important. We all, like you said, we all love and want these players to play, but sometimes you just got to learn to walk away. So,
thanks. All right, nothing else. You said DQ. We all know when you say Dairy Queen, you mean Patrick Queen. We know this. We're not stupid. We don't have CTE. Anything from you, Yolanda? Anything from you, Suge? Anything from the chat? Because you got 30 seconds, and I'm about to shut this thing down if you don't hurry up and get it out.
Well, thank you so much for having me this one and only time. It was fun. I appreciate it. For all of those who are here, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hit like, if you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, hit the like button. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do, just hit a button.
Facts.
Facts.
Yes, it was Mike Webster. Mike Webster, the center for the Steelers. That's the guy I was
Okay.
talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, legit. It does suck that he has a coach who believes in him finally and building the offense around him. But listen, Steve Ross is preparing for Lamar Jackson. That's all it was. Tua was just warming the seat up. Stephen Ross wanted Lamar before the draft. When we drafted him, he wanted him then. Then you take the struggles of Tua. Now you put Tua's future in jeopardy. Oh yeah, I mean it's sad that they built this offense and now Tua looks like a capable, competent quarterback. But Lamar's gonna look amazing.
Facts.
Amazing.
Yeah, I like D Weezy's comment.
Facts.
Shug.
You mad? You call a Suge name because he likes somebody comment?
I just said his name. All I did was say Shug. Infer with it what you will.
Wow. All right. So once again, thank you all for being here. I thank you, Yolanda, for hanging out with us for this stream. You say it's one and only.
Yes.
I don't believe you, but it is what it is. Listen, whatever makes you feel better and what helps you sleep at night. Touche. Suge, always a pleasure. I'm pretty sure I will be seeing you Tuesday at 9.
Probably.
Yeah,
probably.
And I probably myself and Bradley will probably be seeing you Tuesday. So it is
most likely. Yeah,
that'll be great.
I mean, oh no, and if Yolanda wants to take this time to be officially invited, because it still is rivalry week. We're talking about it now, so it's Steelers Ravens Steelers week. So you can just slide on over a couple days from now.
Oh no, unfortunately, I have to follow the Ravens mentality that you get 24 hours to mourn the loss. And then after that, you got to put it behind you and focus on the next week and the next team. So by Tuesday, by virtue of the 24-hour rule, we'll be well beyond that limit. So,
but we'll also be talking about week 18. So there you go.
Oh, right. Yeah, about that. Let me have my people call your people sometime this week and I'll let you know.
All right.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, make sure those people know where to get at me, Yolanda.
Yeah, please do.
Gotcha.
All right. All right, Shook. Let the people know where they can find you.
Well, once again, thank you, Hendo, for having me on. You guys can find me at SugeKnight323 on Twitter and TikTok. You can also find me at SugeKnight1323 on Twitch, where I'm usually streaming video games or playing Magic tournaments. And you can, make sure to see me on Tuesday, Still Conspiracy. We talk Ravens and Steelers, and then Friday night is Late Night with Suge Knight, where I bring on a guest or two. We just talk about different things. This week I'll be having on Taylor Cleek. He ran some podcast, horror podcast, and he was part of the movie Trivia Schmodown as a player. So it's gonna be fun to talk to him and have some good conversations. So check that out. Come hang out with us Friday and Tuesday. Really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. Make sure to like this stream. Make sure to share it. And Yolanda, thank you for coming on. Like I said, you've been a breath of fresh air on here.
Thanks.
And been simply amazing. So thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Miss Yolanda, is there any parting words or any places you don't want people to find you?
Right. I am unsearchable. I'm not findable, but I just want to wish everyone a very happy New Year. I know we're well beyond New Year's Day, but I wish you all the best. And Suge, again, to your team, congratulations. Enjoy it, because next year it's going to be a different story. That's assuming Lamar stays with the Ravens. But if he doesn't, hey, I'm not going to be a Ravens fan anymore. I'm going wherever he goes. But thank you so much, Hendo, for having me. Thank you to Suge. I appreciate it. And thank you all so much for staying up this late at night, early hours in the morning to chat about this Ravens disaster of a game.
Indeed. Listen, like they said, I appreciate you all. Listen, some of y'all been rocking with us since 8:00 this evening.
Thanks.
We are into a next day. I want to say happy anniversary to this channel. I posted my first video on January the 2nd of last year when I took my brother to the Ravens Steelers game. and took him to his first football game. And that's where this channel got started. And I appreciate everyone for helping me grow, everyone for sticking with me through the good and the bad. Hopefully I'm giving y'all the content that y'all want. Hopefully I'm improving as a show host. You know, my only goal is to get better, get the people what they want. Next week, Ravens finale. Appreciate you, B. Next week, Ravens finale. I have some prizes that I'm giving away. Like I said, a jersey possibly, and something else that I got to order. I have to wait for it to come. But, you know, I got some things planned for y'all. You know, 2023 is going to be a whole new year. Try some different things. Try to improve. Try to be better. Try to collaborate with some different people more. You know, we'll see what happens. But once again, appreciate you all being here. It's time for us to get up out of here. Like I said, and like I always tell you.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to do that, Mike.
That's what I'm talking about. So, you know, you let Mike know when you're available to come on OTL with Mike. I'll think of a topic for y'all to talk about, but, you know, we'll get into that after the stream. Listen, once again, if you want to become a patron, be a part of some of this, hop on over to patreon.com/ROUG, get some good perks. Even after the live stream, sometimes, who knows? Tonight, we might hang out till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning talking about whatever. I don't know yet. Come join the fun. Hey, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Remember, always think for yourself. Formulate your own opinions. Never give into conformity. Stand on your own 2 feet is what I'm saying. Don't follow them purple patrollers. Get your own thoughts. And most importantly, be somebody important. Be yourself. Until next time, y'all. We out.
Take care, Flock.